All right, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Yesterday saw the guilty verdict on all counts for Nadine Menendez. She may be asking for a delay in her sentencing, and maybe Bob Menendez, sentenced to 11 years but hasn't begun serving it yet, will ask for a delay in his. Or maybe they'll be going for pardons. Nobody quite knows, but that did happen. Today will be the closing arguments and possible verdict in the civil defamation suit, round 2, by Sarah Palin versus the New York Times. Yesterday, Palin took the stand and was questioned by her own lawyer about her rise from Wasilla, Alaska, to vice presidential candidate, and her shock at being linked to the shooting of Gabby Gifford, when even the New York Times said was wrong. What will the jury say? We'll find out. We'll find out today. We'll also today be covering at 2:30, hopefully with live tweets, oral argument on an Alien Enemies Act case pending before Judge Hellerstein. It's currently has enjoined any AEA flights of alleged Tren de Aragua members to El Salvador for those within the Southern District of New York. So it's obviously related to a whole series of cases, including the Northern District of Texas, the Supreme Court stay on that. In a way, this takes place, today's argument will take place under the umbrella, under the larger rubric of the temporary Supreme Court stay, and we'll see. We're also, of course, covering Kilmar, Abrego Garcia, and also Mahmoud Khalil. We put up stuff even this morning on that. But there's some other things we don't want to have forgotten. Number one, let's go to the rap front. Tekashi 6ix9ine, Daniel Hernandez. Yesterday we did manage to head over to 40 Foley and found a way to, at least in some cryptic way, live tweet the proceeding. He was charged with violations of supervised release, but it's never described in the docket what those are. Well, yesterday we found out and were first to announce to the world they involved charges of MDMA and a residue of cocaine in Tekashi 6ix9ine's bedroom and a gun in the pool house. But that's been largely attributed to his brothers living in the pool house. There's a DNA swab test taking place on the gun, and by May it will be known, according to probation, whether Tekashi 6ix9ine was handling the firearm. If so, there may be consequences. If not, his supervision is coming to an end, and with it, his connection to the SDNY. There is, of course, that. In other news, Jane Doe 200 had sued the executor of the Jeffrey Epstein estate, Indike and Khan, for alleged rape by Epstein. And yesterday, with very little fanfare, the case was dropped without any explanation. Dropped with prejudice. Now, was it settled for months? No one knows. And I think that given the stated interest in the entire Jeffrey Epstein file, this is a file that should be unsealed. That's my view. That's my view. In UN world, we've continued to pepper them with questions, including exclusive stories about the DSS chief going hat in hand to China. But speaking of China, Julie Bishop, Antonio Guterres' special personal envoy to Myanmar, Burma, turns out has financial links, as Guterres does, to Chinese firms. Incredible. And in this case, while very few people call out Guterres on his Chinese links because he's the pinnacle, and as much as anyone else engages in retaliation, people have written to Guterres about Julie Bishop, and he's defended it, or his spokesman, Farhan Haq, has defended Julie Bishop without even apparently looking into the claims of why would you appoint a Burma envoy with links to Chinese mining in Burma. Well, that's today's UN for you, and it must be reformed, and the ban on the press must end. Litmus test 2025. We're going in.